And this is relating back to the memory. And there is a format or a file called agents.md that everyone except Claude that uses claud.md are adhering to. And this file is basically serves several purposes. And it can be found at several levels. One is at the user level. This is one in your home directory. And this is basically your beliefs about programming. And everyone has their own that says, for me, for example, I say, prefer to use a standard library over third-party packages, and saying use the simplest code to find, to solve the issue without touching a lot of other code. I don't like mocking, so I say try to avoid mocking when you're writing tests, etc., etc. So this is basically your beliefs about how you code, and you need to tweak it. The idea is that you start with something and you always tweak it. You see something bad is happening, say, okay, I need to tell it what to do. And a lot of times you can just tell the agent, add a rule to not to do that or to do that when something, and they'll write it themselves. It's going to work. So this is at the user level in your home directory. The second one is at the project level. So at the project level, on the top of the project, there's a claud.md or agent.md, and there you can help the agents with the memory. This is very much like the README we had for humans, but this now is for agents. And this is going to help it with the context, because you can tell him, when you're working on the front end, look at the FE directory. When you're working on the database, look at the DB directory, etc. And then when you say, I want to look at the database schema, it knows to look only at that specific context. It doesn't need to load everything else. You can tell it also how to run the tests and everything else that you do. And what I tend to do now is I just have this agents of claud.md, and I do a link, a symlink to README. So both humans and agents are looking at the same thing, and it's going there. You can also, to save context, say, you know what, for testing, look at testing.md. And then it will not load a lot of things to memory. It will know that when it's going to testing, only then it needs to read testing.md and do that. So you can save it context when it's not working on tests and working on something else. This is nice. There's also something which is at the system level, and this is if companies want an installment with some rules in place, they can also put it there. As I said, agents are following that mostly, not all of the time. For example, in my claud.md, I tell it always work in a Git work tree. When I'm running 2 or 3 agents at the same time, they don't step on each other's toes. Everyone has their own clean copy of the code to work with. And I would say once a week, it starts working just on the current directory. And I said, why aren't you working on a work tree? I get this dreaded, you're absolutely right. And then it moves to a work tree. But so these are guidelines, but always keep in mind that you need to make sure that they follow them and keep an eye. Second thing is that can help them with the context is that you can specify files and paths. And this is usually done with the @ sign. So you're saying, I want to add a flag for verbose mode, saying this is just the only file that you need to look at. Don't look at the other files, they don't matter. And now the context is smaller, the agent will be more effective. And as you finish a task, a lot of people stay in the same agent and continue to the second task. And this is very confusing to the agent because it has a lot of context from the previous one, and then suddenly you start talking about something else. This is confusing. So there is a /new, which you can do. Oh, now we have enough context. Okay, so I'll just move that. Right, so when you do new, basically code says, okay, I'm starting fresh. This is new or clear. And now it remove the context, and now you're ready for a fresh one. And now when you're talking about adding flags, it forgets about all the tests that you tried to fix in the previous session and do that. Sometimes the memory grows, or the context grows too big. You have another option which is called compact. And basically what it goes over the context and try to prune it out so the context will be smaller, and work with it. And from time to time, if you see that you have a long session, running /compact, you'll find out that you get better answers for that. In latest versions, actually, I got Claude saying, hey, my context is already full. I'm going to start a new session, or I'm going to compact now the memory. So we have that. There are some other things, like you can go back in history sometimes. So if you sidetracked during the conversation and now you want to go back to the main task, you can basically tell them, I want to go back to this point in history, and then they forget all the sidetrack and the context is clean for you. But playing with the context really helps with the results and what is coming.